So of course, after I spend a ton of time editing and uploading my video, going through the entire Xenoblade Trilogy timeline, Nintendo decides this is the perfect time to drop the Xenoblade 3 Story DLC trailer. So just a couple hours after I uploaded that video, Nintendo drops this huge bombshell of information, as now we have pretty much this entire trailer about the DLC. The website's been updated with a ton of information about the gameplay mechanics. We have some information about the combat. We have information about the characters. There's tweets about it. There's so much stuff to cover here, and the craziest thing, it comes out in literally just 6 days. Now this isn't the first time that I've been screwed over like this either. Last year I spent a ton of time making a video about exactly what the Xenoblade 3 combat was going to be like, and I upload that video, and literally the next day Nintendo decides to drop a Xenoblade 3 trailer showing the gameplay and the combat for the first time, so that video basically became irrelevant. So this is pretty much a common thing now. I guess if you ever want any news for something, just ask me to make a video on it and you'll get that trailer after. But yeah, this is crazy. There's so much stuff here, and it's insane because this is coming out in just 6 days. I really kind of don't like the way that they kind of handled this, because it's so soon now that we don't even have much time to really kind of speculate and really make like a whole bunch of theories and stuff about what could happen with this story DLC. I feel like if it was this soon and they knew that it was going to be coming out in April, they should have just shown this information back in February. Like they could have just had this full-fledged trailer like in the February Direct or something, and we could have just seen that, and then having that from February up until now to speculate and have theories about all of this would have been so much fun. But now we only get like 6 days. So I mean, it's cool because it's so close, but at the same time I do kind of wish that I could have spent more time with everyone kind of speculating and getting really excited for this, but it's just so close now. And so this is going to be the only video that I'm going to make about the Xenoblade 3 Future Redeemed Story DLC. We're going to be breaking down everything, so it probably is going to be a long video, but I'm only going to be making just this one video going through everything, and then after that I'm pretty much just going to be playing it when it comes out next week. So I will of course be streaming it, so if you guys do want to catch those streams with me and watch everything as it happens, definitely go ahead and give me a follow on twitch.tv/actualaero, but I will also be uploading the VODs here as well, so you can definitely come back and watch everything after you've played it yourself. Alright, so there is so much information to go through here, so we're just going to go through everything slowly, and the first thing that we're going to take a look at are all the tweets that they've made about this, and of course these were made on the official account in Japanese, so instead we're going to be taking a look at this fan account which does all the translations into English, so big shout out to them. And the first thing that it says right here is Future Redeemed is a prequel to Xenoblade Chronicles 3, featuring a new protagonist. It's a totally original story that will connect the stories of the 3 Xenoblade games in a way never before told. So yeah, there's confirmation right there that this DLC is going to be a prequel story that takes place before Xenoblade 3. And honestly, this makes a lot of sense. Pretty much once they showed us the Shulk and Rex inside of like that teaser video back in February, it definitely seems like they were going to be focusing on the founders and the original Ouroboros, like with the statues that we see in the city in the base game. So that makes a lot of sense, but also to me the title of this is so weird, because if this is a prequel, then why is it called Future Redeemed? It's called Future Redeemed, which makes it seem like it's going to be redeeming the future, like it's going to be a positive thing, it's going to end on a good note. But if this is truly just an entire prequel, then it's just going to end in depression, right? It's going to take you all the way up until the base game with Ionios, and that entire game is just depression with all the stuff that happens in Ionios. So how is this actually redeeming the future? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. So instead, I think that a majority of this is going to be a prequel story. I do think that it is going to be taking place in the past, but I do think that the very last couple of things, maybe the last cutscene or the last like few moments of this game, is actually going to be like an epilogue or a sequel or something that takes place after the ending of Xenoblade 3. I feel like this makes a lot of sense, because that way they can wrap up the trilogy in a really nice way that actually puts together everything. Because if this is truly just going to be a prequel from the very start with the title screen all the way up until the credits, it's just going to be a full-on prequel that takes place before the base game, then this would mean that everything would happen up to the base game, then the base game happens with Noah and Mio and everyone in Xenoblade 3, and the very end of the base game would just put it right back to the Xenoblade 3 intro, where everything is about to happen again. It just doesn't really feel like a super cool trilogy saga finisher, in my opinion. It would just feel like a cool ending to Xenoblade 3. So I feel like because of how they're also tying together everything which they've said here, I feel like this is definitely going to be tying together the entire saga too, and it is going to end on a better note. Now we also get to see the party members. So the first one that we have here is Matthew, and it says here, "This is Matthew, a young man who belongs to the city, a group dedicated to standing against Mobius. He is straightforward, but kind and searches for his missing sister Niall. So this is really cool because of course this seems like this character is going to be related to Noah in some way. Maybe he's like a really old ancestor to Noah. It's a very interesting design, and of course he's using fists to fight, but this red like coating around it is very similar to the coating on Lucky 7 that Noah uses with his sword, so it will be very interesting to see what exactly happens with this character. Now we've also got information about his blade. So it says here, Matthew's blade was given to his grandfather Gondor. It has a special function as it has the function of an Ouroboros stone, although its power is limited. So we can actually see here he does kind of something similar to an Ouroboros, where like he does this crazy like annihilation effect type of thing, and then we can kind of see like what looks to be like an Ouroboros stone when it's awakening. So that's really cool. But of course, the crazy thing here is that it says here his grandfather's name is Gondor. And of course, there's a Gondor inside of the base game of Xenoblade 3. So it seems like Gondor in the base game is actually named after the grandfather inside of this prequel. And that's just really, really cool to see. Now, of course, we've got my goat Shulk here. So it says here, this is Shulk, a kind swordsman who wields a great red sword. Due to previous battles, his right arm has been replaced with a prosthetic. He can only wield his sword with his left hand. So this is really, really cool because when we do get to see like that teaser video that happened in February, Shulk still has both of his arms. But inside of this video that we've seen like with the trailer, he already loses his arm and it's been replaced with like this prosthetic robotic arm. So it seems like he is in fact going to be losing his arm in this DLC. We are going to be seeing that happen. So that's just crazy to me. He's going to be a tank character, which is so cool to me also, and he's going to be using his MONADO EX, so that's also really, really cool. And yeah, man, I just love his design. It's so cool because this design with this render is very reminiscent of the original Dunban design. So he really just grew up to be exactly like Dunban with the cape and the long hair and everything. And they definitely did that on purpose, man. And it just makes me so happy because Shulk is my favorite protagonist and it's just so cool to see him growing up like this. I'm just very, very happy. They also did announce here, this was another tweet that they made, that there's actually going to be amiibos coming for Noah and Mio. That's so cool because of course I'll be getting them, but I'm also interested to see how these are even going to work in the game. Like what are they going to do? Like are they going to give you some extra like bonus clothing or something? I don't know, but it is cool. Of course I will be buying those. So now we've got information here about Rex, who also looks really cool with his design here as well. It says here, this is Rex, a powerful swordsman who wields dual great swords. He's flexible and frank, and alongside Shulk leads the Liberators. He lost his left eye in battle. So of course, this is also just like what happens with the statues, where it talks about how Rex loses an eye, Shulk loses an arm, and that's just really cool because we're going to see how that happens. As when we do get to see the teaser video, we still see that he has both of his eyes. So we are going to see how he loses his eye inside of this DLC. But now we've got this other interesting character here, where it says here, this is Niall, Matthew's younger sister. She has a kind-hearted personality, taking care of the kids in the city. Due to certain events, she goes missing. And they do talk about how it seems like the premise of this DLC is going to start with Matthew looking for his sister. So to me, there's so many theories already that are happening about this character. One thing that I've noticed people saying is that like the design of the electricity that it seems like this character is doing is very reminiscent of the Mayneth MONADO from the original game from Xenoblade 1. So like bro, this is crazy. Like the fact that they're connecting all of this together now, I don't even know what's happening anymore. But this is cool. I've seen some people speculating that this character could be the daughter of Rex and Pyra and Nia and all of them that we've seen like inside of the ending with the picture that we see for Xenoblade 3. So this could actually make sense if this is like the daughter with Nia. So that could be possible. But then we've also got some more information here where it says Niall cares about children more than anything. She's really kind. So very kind-hearted character. It seems like it's going to be pretty nice personality. We also can see Gondor inside of this cutscene here as well. But then going up here, this is so funny to me, man. A mysterious figure who appears before Shulk and Rex with a question mark. All right, don't act like we don't know that this isn't Alvis right now, man. This is insane. What happened to Alvis? This design is so crazy to me. He's got like the Zanza divine wings. Looks like Taboo from Smash Brawl, man. I'm so excited to see how he's going to connect into this game. It's really, really crazy. It's so funny how they're still treating this as like a mystery, as we don't like know who Alvis could actually be, but that will be interesting to see how he connects. And we can see this cutscene right here, which is so cool because take a look at this cutscene. This is the one from that teaser video, but look at this. We see Zed here. Zed is literally in this cutscene, man. How is he in this cutscene? Now, we're going to talk more about this when we take a look at the trailer, because he actually says some stuff here, which I'll talk more about when we take a look at that trailer stuff. But I did not know that Zed was in this cutscene, right? Like, they showed us this part right here in that little teaser video that released in February. But if you told me that Zed was behind all of them, I would have just been like, what are you talking about? So that's crazy to me. But now we've got information here about a new character. It says here, this is Nicole, a Kavesi soldier who is talented in mechanical engineering. He's usually calm and quiet, but gets fired up when discussing about machines. Instead of a blade, he fights with mechanical arms. Now there's a lot of theories about this character. The one that I've seen people saying is that this is actually going to be the son of Shulk and Fiora. Maybe it's possible. I don't know. I mean, inside of like the trailer, we do see this character being the one who seems like he's the one who gives Shulk his prosthetic arm and he's taking care of it and stuff. So it would make sense if this is actually the son of Shulk and he's going to be caring for his father and stuff. That would be insane, man. So it seems like he's going to be a tank too, just like Shulk, which is nice. But yeah, I mean, if this actually is Shulk and Fiora's kid, that's pretty crazy. I mean, people did say like, it seems like this character has Fiora's eyes with the eye color. And of course it looks like Shulk. So of course that's why everybody thought in like that, the statue in the base game that this character was Shulk, because it literally looks like him. So it wouldn't surprise me if this does end up being the kid that Shulk has. I guess we'll find out in a couple days. Now we've got this character Glimmer here. So it says here, this is Glimmer, an Agnian soldier who fights using a stringed cane. She has a rather strong personality and often takes a harsh tone. Often she acts selfishly, as she doesn't accept the truth of the world around her. So this is of course the character that a lot of people are speculating is going to be the daughter of Pyra and Rex, and this makes a lot of sense to me as well. She does of course have the Aegis core crystal, so like she's definitely going to be related to Pyra or an Aegis in some way. Not exactly sure how it's going to work, but she is going to be an Agnian character, which would make sense too because she would be coming from the Xenoblade 2 world. And yeah, I feel like this makes a lot of sense. It's funny because they've combined everything together here. Like she's got like she's the daughter of Pyra because of the red hair, but it's a ponytail like Numa, and it seems like she has a harsh tone like Mithra. So it really is like an Aegis that's just combined with all the characters together, which is really funny. But yeah, I feel like this is definitely going to be the character who's going to be fusing with Nicole here, like in terms of like their Ouroboros. We actually get to see that, I think, in one of the trailer clips. So I'll talk about that when we get to it, but yeah, it seems like this is definitely going to be like the Pyra daughter, or it's going to be related to Rex in some way. And even in the trailer, we get to see like little scenes of Rex and Glimmer being together. So it definitely seems like they have a connection like how Shulk and Nicole do. And we can see this scene right here where it says, here is Glimmer doing her duty as a soldier and leading her Agnian allies. During battle, she faced Nicole, a Kavesi soldier. So yeah, it seems very like similar to what happens in the base game of Xenoblade 3, where like Noah and Mio are first fighting each other and then they end up becoming allies. It's kind of seems like it's going to be similar to that, where like we've got Nicole from the Keves side and then we've got Glimmer from the Agnes side, and they're both going to be fighting each other before they end up joining forces. So very reminiscent of what happens in the base game. Alright, then here we've got my personal favorite character that they've shown, and it says here, this is A, the wielder of a thin red sword who fights alongside Matthew. A tends to judge things calmly, which complements Matthew, who tends to act without thinking, quite nicely. So there's so many things that are happening about this character, man, like I don't even know where to begin. Let's talk first about just the sword that this character uses. The sword is very reminiscent of Lucky 7. I feel like this is definitely going to add some lore to Lucky 7, or how Lucky 7 exists, or how it got crafted. And once we talk more about what the sword actually is, because the sword that she has is just called a MONADO, like straight up an actual just normal MONADO, which how does that even work? We don't know. But also, can we talk about her name? Her name is the letter A. And in Xenoblade 3, any character who has a name that is just one letter was a consul and was a part of Mobius. But this is A, and A was actually the only one that was conveniently missing when they showed us all of the characters and consoles inside of the base game. Now, I thought that A was going to end up being Alvis, because Alvis also starts with A, so I feel like that would have made sense that Alvis was going to be console A, but it seems like now there's just a whole new character who's going to be A, and she's very reminiscent of Alvis. Like, she has like these earrings, which are like the Aegis earrings, with like the Aegis core crystal. So now I'm really confused about if Alvis is even on Tos, or if Alvis is actually a part of the Trinity processor. Did Alvis split or something? Like, what exactly happened? There's so many questions about this character, but man, I love her design, the long silver hair, the cape and everything. She's definitely my favorite character so far. You can see I made her my profile picture on Twitter too. Like, she's definitely my favorite character so far. It's just such a cool design. It says here, Matthew rushes in and A seems to scold him. Doing so frequently. They're a surprisingly good pair, aren't they? It's so cool because it seems like A is going to be like Matthew's blade, kind of, in a way, where they fight alongside each other. And so that will be really cool to see how they exactly work together. And yeah, I'm just excited to see how her role is going to work in this game, because her name is the letter A, bro. Like, how does that work? She's not Mobius. She doesn't seem like she's going to be a console. Is this what ends up causing the Endless Now or something? Like, how is this even going to work? I'm just very excited to see all of that get answered. Now, we've also got this like connection tree right here, so we're going to be taking a look at that. I'm going to open this in a new tab so we can actually kind of go through all this information in an easier way. Let me see here. Yeah, so we're going to go through all of this here. Let me zoom in so it's easier to see. All right, so the first thing that we're going to start with is the city. And it says here, this old man character is named Gondor. So this is going to be like the city's established founder. So this is like the old grandfather or ancestor or grandfather to Matthew. That makes a lot of sense. Then it says here that N attacks him. So, right, we see that in the trailer itself. Like, it opens up with Gondor being attacked by N. So N is still going to be around in this. So we're going to be wondering how exactly that's going to work. But then we've got Matthew here. So Matthew is going to be the city's young man, who is the older brother and younger sister of this character Niall. So Niall is going to be the sibling. Now, they also, when they showed this, they showed us the picture frame of these two characters. So are these like going to be related to that in some way? I don't even know what's going on here, but these two are siblings. And then it says here, Matthew's partner. So this is the character A. It says here, a person that rushes swiftly into action. So I guess A is just going to randomly show up out of nowhere and then join Matthew alongside Matthew to like fight with him. Not exactly sure, man. So many questions. But then we've got here the Kevis and Agnes characters. It says here, Kevis, a nation utilizing machine technology. This is where we get Nicole, who's going to be a timid soldier. And then we've got Agnes characters, where it says here, a strong nation focused on the magic of ether. That's where Glimmer comes from, and she's going to be a brave soldier. And then it says here, Agnes vehicles will lose. Shut up, you're too loud. So that's just talking about like the way that these two characters talk with each other. So these are definitely going to be like the first ever Ouroboros, where they're going to be fusing with each other. So that will be interesting to see how that works. And then of course we've got Shulk and Rex here. So that's really cool. It says very reliable. These are like the liberators and very old members of the city. And then the craziest thing, man, how is Riku here? What is going on with Riku? This is like the most craziest thing about this entire thing to me, because Riku being here is so weird, because this means that he has been around for all the stuff that happens in this prequel, and he's going to be around to what happens with Noah in the base game. And the crazy thing is, Riku with like the Nopons, they don't have that 10-year cycle where they die after 10 years and then get reborn and lose all their memories. So Riku in that base game of Xenoblade 3 knows everything that's going to happen inside of this. Like, unless his memory gets zapped at the end of this or something, he's going to know everything. So the fact that he remained so kind of hidden and didn't tell us anything, knowing all the stuff that happens in this prequel, is just so crazy to me, man. What is he hiding? What's going to happen here? I cannot wait to see, because that's just so crazy to me. And then the last thing that we have here are just the class names, where it says here Matthew is going to be using Ouroboros Knuckles, A is going to be using MONADO Fencer, Nicole is going to be using the Machinist, Rex is a Master Driver, which of course makes a lot of sense, and then Shulk is going to be a Grand Soldier. Glimmer is going to be using the Instrumentalist of Flame. This one is a super rough translation. We'll definitely change in localization. So yeah, it's probably going to have a better name in terms of that. But yeah, these are definitely some cool names too for the classes that these characters are going to have. Alright, so now we're going to be taking a look at the official website here. Now sadly, this website doesn't have an English version, so we can only look at it in Japanese, but we do have some stuff that can be translated here, so we are going to be taking a look at that. Now a lot of this stuff are kind of images, so we can't actually get the translations here, but I'm assuming this stuff is just talking about it being a prequel. We already read all of these bios from the tweets that I talked about earlier in the video, so that's just information that we already know about. But there is some new information here about like the gameplay mechanics and the combat and stuff, and I do want to talk about that. So it says right here, battle. As with the main story of Xenoblade 3, battles where roles of attackers, defenders, and healers will differ for each character are important. Fight by making full use of powerful techniques arts with various effects. In addition, you can advance the battle more advantageously with special powers and cooperative attacks with friends. So it says here, Ouroboros power. The main characters can use Ouroboros power, which is stronger than normal arts. Ouroboros power can be fused with other arts to obtain various additional effects. The effects obtained will vary depending on the combination of Ouroboros power and arts. So I'm assuming this is talking about fusion arts, which is kind of funny because if we take a look at this video right here, you can see, I'm gonna turn down the volume a little bit, but yeah, these are the fusion arts with the characters, right? These are like how you're gonna be able to fuse arts together. So it seems like that's gonna work differently than how it does in the base game. So that'll be interesting to see. I guess you're gonna have different combinations. Maybe you get like different effects now depending on how you fuse the arts together and which ones you actually do. So that should be pretty cool to see. Then it says here union combo. The tag union of two characters. By cooperating with a union, you can unleash a powerful combination union combo. Ability also improves when attacking with union combo. Depending on the combination of unions, the attacks and improved effects will also differ. I'm assuming this will all have like localized names and stuff, but this seems to be like the actual Ouroboros stuff. Now, it doesn't seem like it's going to be like what's in the base game where like Noah and Mio turn into like that robotic form where they can actually like move around. Instead, it seems like you do like a special like cutscene type of attack, like how you do with the special attacks in Xenoblade 2. I'll show you guys here in this little clip that you can see. So it's showing us here, like, I guess you can do it with any character. Like Shulk can do it with all of the characters, and it shows you like these effects that you can get. Yeah, so you can see right here, like if Matthew does it with A, it happens to give you knockback. If Nicole does this with Glimmer, you get the burst effect, and then Shulk with Rex can give you smash. So I mean, I guess that's how it's gonna work. And we can see right here. So like they use this where it's like how it happens for Ouroboros in the base game, but you're gonna see it doesn't turn into like a form. They do a special cutscene attack here. See, this is very reminiscent of like Torna, like when they do like the combo attack together, like when Jin and Laura would attack. It's like that, and then it gives you like a special name here too. This is very reminiscent of Xenoblade 2, bro. This is so reminiscent of, like, you know, like when they do some crazy thing like this and it says Ultimate Aurora, like it's just like that. It's just like that to me. So that's really cool. I like that in Xenoblade 2. But yeah, it seems like you'll have different combos that you can do with each of the characters. So that will be cool. I wonder if the effect will be the same or if you can customize it and stuff. But that is cool. So it seems like it's a very early version of what like the Ouroboros is. And I mean, I'm assuming... So Shulk and Rex are actually going to do it, right? Where Shulk and Rex both become one and they can have like a smash power together, which is so cool. Like they're both fighting together. That's so cool, man. That's going to do so much damage. So that's really cool. But now we've got some information here about the system, and here's where it gets a little bit kind of interesting. It says here, system affinity goals. In a new future, which I'm assuming is just called Future Redeemed, you can acquire Kizuna points, which I'm sure, you know, it'll be called affinity points or something, I'm sure in the English version, through various experiences such as exploring fields, meeting people, defeating enemies, and you can use these points to grow your character. So it seems like you get these different points, and I'm not sure exactly how this works. So like, it seems like one of these might be based around like exploring, one of them might be based on defeating monsters, this one might be depending on like which items you find from monsters, this could be like Collectopedia items. I don't know what these exact symbols mean, but you're going to be finding this while like you're playing through the game. Then we can see right here, like, you know, it says here +4 EXP, so when you do something like this, it shows you that you're getting points for it. So that seems like how the system is going to work. And then you use those points to be able to like change your character out. So I guess there's not going to be like actual customizing. Maybe there's not going to be like gems or accessories and things like that. But instead, you're just going to have all of these like skill tree kind of things where you're just going to use the points that you get from exploring and stuff and defeating monsters to be able to unlock different abilities and different perks that maybe up your defense or up your speed or something like that. So seems like a very interesting approach, and of course, with this being a DLC that's going to be shorter than the base game, it does make a lot of sense that this would be much more of like a streamlined way to go about it. But then it says here we have an Enemypedia. Bro, this is the one thing that I have asked for so long in a Xenoblade game. I can't believe it's going to happen with the last thing that's going to happen. But yeah, we have an Enemypedia finally, which is actually going to show you what enemies can be found in what areas. This is like the most important thing that I wish was in the base game of Xenoblade 3 so much, because they tell you like what enemies you can find in what area. It's even going to show you what items you can find in the Collectopedia and which items you haven't found. So like that's going to be here too. and you can also do this other thing with the community, which we'll get to because that's a whole other thing. But this is something that I wanted so much, because like when you're crafting stuff, it'll tell you like, oh, you're gonna need this Bunnet's foot or something, and like you have no idea where it is, and it'll just tell you, oh, it's found in the Forest region. But that region is so big, like you want me to spend like hours looking for that exact same like monster who gives that part? This will be so nice because it'll show you here when you click on the monster exactly what parts they drop, what the rarities are, and all of that. It's gonna make it so much easier for like when you're crafting stuff and you need items and all of that. I really wish this was in the base game. Same thing with the Collectopedia, showing you what things you can find in what areas. That's so useful too. But yeah, now we need to talk about this, bro. This scares me a little bit. Community is going to be back. So Community from Torna the Golden Country is back. And here's the thing. I'm going to tell you guys right now. I don't have a problem with Community. My problem with it is that it was required to beat the game. I think the aspect of Community was so cool because like you would do side quests, you would help out these NPCs, you could see some of the relationships, like if one NPC betrayed another, they wouldn't be friends anymore, and you could actually see them like get back outside of the community, and you'd have to go and befriend them again to make them join again. It was really cool how it worked inside of Torna. The problem was just there were some people who didn't want to do Community, and like that could be like their choice where they decided, you know what, I don't want to play the side quest. But eventually you got to a point where they were just like, oh, you're unable to progress the main story unless you did the Community up to this level. And it's like that way you would have to like actually go out of your way to do side quests, which I really hope isn't the case in this, man. Like, I'll probably do some side quests here and there, but I really just want to kind of see the main story right away first, because I don't want to get spoiled on anything, so I don't want to see what happens in the main story after I spend hours doing side quests. So that's why I just want to kind of rush through that in the beginning. But if it's going to give you like these community blocks where it's like, oh, you can't actually see what happens to Shulk here until you get through this community stuff, and you have to get your community to like level 4, that would just be really dumb. Hopefully it's not restricted. That was like one of the biggest criticisms with Torna. So if Monolith did say that they listened to a lot of the feedback for Xenoblade 3, I'm gonna have faith that it shouldn't be required, but I don't know, man. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that is pretty much all the information that they have on the website. They didn't talk about the community and the Enemypedia and all of that in their tweets, but it is useful information, and especially with this customizing and all of that too, so I did want to talk about it here. Alright, and the final thing that we're going to take a look at is, of course, the actual trailer itself, because there's still some information inside of this trailer, and it goes into a lot of like the story stuff, and this is like the only English kind of thing that we have to go off of. So there's a lot of cool things in here as well, and I do kind of want to break everything down as we go through this. I'm going to be piecing this together slowly, like as we like scrub through it. So we're not going to be actually like looking at the whole trailer or anything like that. So instead, we're just going to go through here and see everything as it happens. So it starts off with Matthew running here. This is happening in the city, and I'm assuming this is probably the first time that N comes to destroy the city. Remember, he was told by Zed to go and destroy the city, so I'm assuming that's what he is doing here. But this is crazy because N is here, which is crazy because this is taking place in the past, of course. N is trying to kill everyone in the city. This is, of course, his granddad for Matthew, which would explain the teaser video where he's like killing granddad wasn't enough for you. He's definitely talking to N now because N seems like he's going to be the one who kills him here. This picture seems like it's going to have some type of importance now, which is, I don't know how that's going to work. Like, is this supposed to be Matthew or something? Like, is his granddad like the older version of this Noah or something? I don't know. How is that going to work? But something happens here. Look at this. Some explosion happens here. Not sure what it is. Is this like an annihilation effect or something that's happening? This is really, really interesting. I don't know what this is, but that's happening here. All right, and then we see all these characters, right? Like, okay, let's just look at these characters for a second, bro, because all right, we got Matthew here. Really cool design. I think he's going to be an awesome protagonist. This girl, man, A, with the Aegis earrings. I don't know what is up with her. So much interesting stuff. We got Glimmer here, Nicole here, and of course, the Ghost Shulk and Rex are here too. So yeah, here we go. Future Redeemed. Glimmer. All right, Nicole. We've already seen these characters, so I'm not going to talk too much about them, but there is some new stuff here inside of this trailer, which we're going to be looking at. So Mobius is here. So yeah, this is Mobius. Now, I'm assuming these are different Mobiuses. Like some of these could be the same as the ones in the base game, but some of these could also be different characters. Also, she literally has a MONADO. This is the thing. Look, it has the symbols. Like this is a MONADO for sure. But how does that work? How can you get a MONADO? We destroyed the MONADO in the end of Xenoblade 1. Who is this girl? How does she have a MONADO? Is the MONADO gonna turn into the Lucky 7? Is it gonna be like a broken down version of it, which turns into Lucky 7 or something? I don't know, but it's really, really interesting. And wait till you see the moves that she has. That's where it gets really, really insane. So yeah, this seems like it's going to be... Glimmer is going to be the daughter of Pyra. Then we got Nickel, who potentially could be the son of Shulk. And we got Rex here. Yeah, so this is a Mobius. I don't know. I can't tell. Like, I don't have the designs off the top of my head to know if this is a design we've already seen before. It looks new to me, I think, but we'll see, I guess. Yeah, this seems like it's like a different design, but it could also be like Mobius Y maybe. And if Mobius X, Y, and Z get more in this, bro, that's gonna be great. All right, look at this. This is what we need to talk about because these are the actual attacks that we can see in English and stuff. So let's take a look here. This is going to be Matthew's moveset. He's got Backspin Punch, which can break, Mighty Strike to give you front attack and knockback, Revolt Uppercut here, and then his special attack is called Gigantic Beat, which is AoE and charges all arts on hit. That sounds super busted. Also, he's using an Agnian class, or he's Agnian, which is cool. So Matthew's going to be Agnian, and then he's going to be fusing with Keves arts here. So that's interesting. I guess that makes sense because if the girl is going to be using a MONADO and stuff, she's gonna have like the Xenoblade 1 stuff. I don't know. That's cool. But yeah, let's look at the other movesets and stuff. So this is A. This is going to be the girl, and she is absolutely using a MONADO. Look at the attacks that she has too. She's using Shaker Edge, which is an attack from Shulk. This was the thing that used to daze in Xenoblade 1, but it topples in this game. Then she has something called Light Field, which can do Regenerate. She a Sky Foil for attack downs, Sword Mirage. Now, you might notice I skipped one, and that is Cross Ray. This one blew my mind when I saw it, because here's the thing. I don't think most people will remember what this is from. Do you remember in Xenoblade 1, there is one battle where Alvis helps you against the Telethia, I think in Machina Forest it was. If you remember, in this battle, Alvis helps you fight against Telethia, but you can't actually play as him. However, if you do a chain attack inside of this special battle, you can actually get to select arts for Alvis. One of his arts is called Cross Ray, and this is what she has here, bro. Like, oh my god, the attention to detail is blowing my mind. Like, how is that even gonna make sense? Like, because she isn't Alvis. We see Alvis later on in the trailer, so it's not like this is actually Alvis like as a girl now or something. It's something else. But yeah, I don't know. And then we've got her special ability, which is Vision. Just straight up grants you a vision. How is that going to work? Is it actually going to pull up like the vision, like UI, like how it does in Xenoblade 1? That would blow my mind, but I don't know how that's going to work either. So cool to me that she's going to be a healer using a MONADO. Like a MONADO healer sounds really fun. I hope she has a really fun class to use. That's awesome. And then I think it shows us here Rex. So now we got Rex gameplay. Look at this. He's got the anchor shot, which can topple just like Xenoblade 2. That makes me happy. Broken ass double spinning edge gains charge on crit. Oh, that's going to be just like how it was in Xenoblade 2. Dual blast, which seems like a new attack. It seems like it's an AoE launch. That's crazy, man. AoE launch. You mean that there's going to be like a horde of enemies that you can all have toppled and he can just launch all of them up? Literally like Jin, which is so cool to me. So that's awesome. And then we can see here that he can combine with his characters here to do like burst and stuff, which is cool. Seems like there's going to be like multiple, you can do this multiple times. It seems like you can charge it up to 3 times, which is what these circles imply here. Not really sure, but that's cool. All right, then we've got Shulk here. We've got Shulk's moveset here, where he's got Stream Edge, of course, the break, just like how it was in Xenoblade 1. Heavy Rush, which gives you Awaken boost, and Slit Edge 2, which is giving you AoE bleed, which is awesome as well. Then we've got MONADO Rage. That's like a whole new thing here. I've never heard of that one before. That's really cool. But take a look at this. It says here Shulk and... this is obviously referring to Matthew. So Shulk and Matthew can do an attack together too. Who exactly can fuse together? Like, it seems like you can fuse with anyone inside of this. That will be very interesting to see how that works. And then he's got MONADO Buster as his special attack here. So that's awesome too. Man, this combat system looks like it's going to be so much fun. But also, let's take a look at the enemy that they're fighting here. This is a fog beast, you all. That says right here, fog cannon. This is a fog beast. So yeah, the stuff from Future Connected, the fog beast and everything that we were all wondering about, it absolutely is finally going to connect inside of this. And so this is so cool, man. Remember when we were all like playing Xenoblade 3 and we were like, bro, what was the point of fog beast? It makes no sense. What's even going to happen inside of Xenoblade 3? And then it never was and people were disappointed. There you go. This is where all the connection stuff is going to happen. I can't wait to see what the point of them was. Then we've got, so this is like the special attack. So we can see here Nickel and Glimmer do like a special attack together. This is like your Ouroboros attacks. It's like Xenoblade 2 special attacks where they do something called Hellstream. That's really cool. And then after this, man, it just goes into kind of the story stuff where we see here Matthew's sister. People dying here. This is insane, bro. Look at this. This is the full completed Trinity processor. Do you have any idea how happy this makes me to see this? Like, this is so crazy. I don't think this is actually going to be like in the game, like we're actually going to physically find the Trinity processor. This definitely seems like it's a flashback or it's like a story being told of the past or something. And this honestly to me might be even pre-experiment, like before Xenoblade 1 and 2's worlds even formed, because all three of them are here. The Ontos one is here, the Malos one is here, and the Numa one is here. So yeah, it seems like this is before the button was pressed to do the experiment, and they show us more stuff about it too. Like we get the lore here with Alvis. This is so crazy. They actually changed up how everything looks too. Like this is a whole new model for the crystal. Oh my god, that's so cool. This is Colony 9, y'all. This looks like Colony 9, which is so cool to me also. The base of operations. This is definitely still in early Xenoblade 1 world. This is Colony 9 for sure. So how that's going to tie in, I don't know. This, we need to talk about this. Like, listen to what he says here. I'm going to turn up the volume for this part here. Listen to this. Listen to what Z says here.
She called it. This it? Yes. The Liberator's base of operations.
Listen to this.
Is this how badly you wish to erase us? My God.
There was a pause there. There was a pause there when he said that. He said, "Is this how badly you wish to erase us? My God." Now here's the thing. Z is an antagonist, right? But here he's speaking to Alvis in the sense of like, he's saying, "Is this how badly you wish to erase us?" The only one he could be referring to us is Shulk and Rex. So this is making me think, was Z a good guy? Was he like somebody who was actually fighting with us at the start and something happened to make him want the Endless now? Like, bro, this is insane. This means it's actually going to tie together everything. It's going to tie together everything. And all the people who said like, oh, Z inside of the base game is that he doesn't have much to do, there's no character to him. I already liked him from the start, by the way, but if this is going to add even more writing to him and he's actually going to be a more fleshed out villain, I'm all for it. This just makes me even more excited to see what they're going to do. So yeah, we see Alvis here. Look at this. This is a scene with a fight against N. And it's happening on freaking Prison Island, bro. It's happening on Prison Island. That's so crazy. And of course we see all the characters here. So yeah, this is what I mean. She's talking a lot to Rex as if, you know, daughter talking to her father. And then if we take a look at the other one, Nickel is here working on Shulk. Like, you know, they have a big connection together. Like this could be a father and son type of thing. Maybe, I don't know. It's not confirmed, but I guess we'll know soon. But can we talk about this? Riku, what are you doing here, bro? What are you, how do you know about all of this and you didn't say anything in the base game? Oh my god, bro. Riku, this man is just here looking at all of this. Can't believe this. But yeah, this is happening here. She is so cool, man. I freaking love her. Look at her earrings, man. How is that even going to work? Because here's the thing. We saw the Trinity processor with the red Ontos crystal in there, and Alvis has it on him. So did Alvis split? Like, is there more of them or something? How is that going to work with A? That's going to be interesting to find out for sure. And here we can see here, look, bro, they're even tying together this stuff, like the Saviorite rebels and stuff that were fighting inside of Xenoblade 2. We don't even know how this made sense. Like, what were the Saviorite rebels in the first place? What did it mean with like Siren and all of that? If they somehow tied that from 2017 into 2023's story, bro, this is some insane stuff. Like, I don't have words to describe how crazy that is, that you would plan something like this 6 years ago. Like, oh my god, bro, that's insane. But look at this. They even show us Klaus here doing the experiment. Now, this is literally the same scene right from Xenoblade 2. Like, this isn't like the design isn't like changed to match like Xenoblade 3's art style or anything. This is just the scene straight up from Xenoblade 2, which is interesting. But now we can see right here, this is that red core crystal, right? This is that red crystal for Ontos, but look at this. It's on a different character. This seems like it ends up now on Niall, who is Matthew's sister. So how does that make sense? Like, is she gonna turn into an Aegis or something? Because now we see this crystal 3 times inside of this trailer or this DLC now. We see it on Alvis, on Ontos, we see it on A with her earrings, and it also seems like it ends up somehow on this character Niall. So which one is the real Ontos? Who's actually the Aegis? What is going on? I'm so confused. So that will be really interesting to see how all of that ties together. And I mean, I think after that, it is pretty much everything. I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, there you go. That is it. The future redeemed. Can we also talk about this logo, man? This logo also has the paint stroke of the Xenoblade 1 logo and the fire of the Xenoblade 2 logo. It is literally Xenoblade 1 and 2 and 3 with these particles fused together. It's everything. It's everything we've all wanted, guys. And I mean, it makes me sad because this really is going to be the end to the trilogy. I made a tweet about it on my Twitter, man. Like, if you've been around with the Xenoblade games, like I only got into them recently in like 2019, but man, if you've been around since the first one in like 2012, like when it came out in North America, or like 2010 in Japan, just seeing this entire saga come together, man, it's gonna be crazy. But yeah, the whole saga is gonna be complete in just a couple days, and I can't wait to see what they do with it. But yeah, that was pretty much the entire analysis of everything. I broke down everything, and this video is going to be very long. I do apologize that it's not going to be super like insanely well edited, because this video, sadly, like a lot of people aren't really going to care about this anymore after the DLC comes out in 6 days. That's why I did kind of wish that this happened like more in February and stuff, and or even if this trailer happened today, if this came out in like June or something, we could have a couple more months to speculate, and I could make so many theory videos, and like it would have been a lot of fun to make a video just about A or just about Alvis and stuff. But sadly, because it is so close, I can't really do that. So I do have to just cram everything together into this one video. And so yeah, there you go, guys. Those are pretty much all of my thoughts and the breakdown and analysis of the Xenoblade 3 Future Redeemed DLC. If you guys did enjoy the video, definitely be sure to click that like button and also subscribe to the channel, as well as I am going to be having more Xenoblade videos, and I'm sure I'm going to be talking about the Xenoblade 3 DLC once I actually play through it and have a lot more to say about it. So definitely be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. And also comment down below and let me know what you guys think about this. How are you guys feeling about the DLC now? Are you very excited? What are some of your theories? Definitely be sure to comment everything and let me know down below. Go follow me on Twitter at @ActualAero to be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros. And Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.